Hey Geeks! This is Minx. I'm bringing you our first Once Upon a Time review. Granted, we are in the middle of Season 4. This is actually a review of the mid-season premiere, which happened on Sunday night. Unfortunately, I had to work Sunday, so it took me a hot minute to actually get caught up so I could actually do the video for you guys. As always, spoiler warning, if you have not seen the episode, don't watch this video, because I will get into spoiler territory inadvertently. But, as I always say, if you're actually searching for a review on the episode, you know what you're potentially getting yourself into. So, with that said, let's get into it. So, this was called Darkness on the Edge of Town. As we know, leaving off from the end of, well, the mid-season finale, Gold got kicked out of, town by Belle, which completely tore my heart apart, because they were my ultimate OTP of this show. I still believe that they belong together, and that it was just more of a case of Belle having to step up and find that inner strength and just be like, hey, no, you're not pulling the wool over my eyes anymore. So, the fact that she had to do it by, kicking him out of town and being like, no, F you, buddy, you're gone, I'm done with you, it just tore me apart. And then, so, we already know he's out, and he went and found Ursula, which I'm still kind of meh about the character so far. And then, he's talking about, oh, we're going to get our happy endings, blah, blah, blah. So that's pretty much exactly where this is picking up from. A great scene of having him making a cup of noodles, eating some ramen, and, arguing with Ursula over the fact of whether or not it was the last bowl of ramen. It was kind of funny. Seeing the fact that life in Storybrooke has kind of gone back to normal. Henry's going off to school. Regina's back to being the mayor, which is kind of nice because, Mary Margaret was kind of meh as a mayor. Better leave it to somebody who actually is used to that kind of work. Emma's back to being sheriff. Everyone's doing their thing. Gold's is closed down. Belle's back in the library, which is, honestly, I think she works better there anyway, because it's frickin' Belle. And you discover, Hook's trying to find a way to get the fairies out of the hat because he's just so overcome with guilt and feels it's his fault, even though it was actually Gold's fault because Gold was being a dick, and so that's, it's cool to see that, and then all of a sudden, bam, shit's about to happen. What I want to know is, because they show, in the Enchanted Forest flashback scenes, they show, essentially, the first real big meeting of, Rumple with, Cruella de Vil, Ursula, and Maleficent. And, the big plan to get this curse, and it's like, I'm pretty sure that's the curse, the one that actually ended up creating freaking Storybrooke, and so I'm wondering if that part is going to come out, like, hey, by the way, this town is what was created from that curse. And I'm also wondering, because I remember in, either the first or second season, I think it was the first season, and they were showing flashbacks on, Regina getting the curse from Maleficent. So it's like, how the fuck did Maleficent end up with the curse when Rumple just walked out with it? Because that's the curse. Or at least part of that. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. So I'm kind of, I'm wondering how Maleficent got that shit back. And also how they're gonna reconcile the whole fact that she was fucking killed. I thought she got, fucking stabbed by Prince Charming in, Season 1 as a dragon. How the fuck do you come back from that shit? I get that it's magic, but fuck. some really funny parts though. Like the ramen scene was funny. When I have to say, even though she was a total evil bitch, like Regina is probably my other favorite character. Her and Rumpel are my two favorite characters, but I think Regina's kind of edging him out right now because she has some of the best snarky one-liners. She has the most amazing freaking costumes when they have her as the evil queen. Like, I wonder if she just gets excited to see what they're gonna put her in each week. But like, when she answers her phone and it's Ursula and she's like, "See, bitch!" You know, like, oh my god, like, only she can pull off something like that. Like, I freaking adore her. She just, oh my god. She has steadily become one of my favorite characters. Like, first season I hated her. Hated her. But now she's the amount of character development and character growth that they've put her through and that they've done with her is just so good. It's so good and so juicy, and you actually have watched her grow, and she's continuing to grow, and she's wanting to turn that page and become like this better person. Maybe not a hero, but at least an anti-hero of some sort, and she's pulling it off so well, and I love it. I do feel sad. The scene where Emma comes into her office and ends up finding the taped back together drawing of her and Robin kissing, like, of what it would have been had she gone into the pub that night. And they start talking about that. That kind of hit me a little bit because Robin and Regina was one of my OTPs. And that killed me so hard in the mid-season finale. So I know that they've been hinting that will come into play again, and that they will actually, you know, there is still hope there. So I'm just like, oh, please, please. And for all of those watching, yes, I am actually really energetic when it comes to this show because I'm an absolute all-out geeky nerdgasming girl when it comes to this fucking show. I love it that much. It is one of the few shows that will actually get me emotionally invested and emotionally involved with characters so far. And I didn't think I would ever get that way about something about fairy tale characters, you know. But I do. I get so invested in this damn show, and it constantly just rips your heart out all the time. And you're just going, no! Why? Oh my god! I don't understand! You know, the fact, it didn't really surprise me that, they ended up letting Ursula and Cruella into Storybook. That didn't surprise me at all. Because it's like, they gotta find a way to get them in there, and honestly, yeah, Regina would probably be like, you know what? I was the most evil out of all of them at the time, and, you know, I'm changing, so we gotta at least give them a chance, you know, to show that they are coming back, you know, that they want to make better for themselves. Now, granted, the way that Cruella, you know, rolls up and is like, "Thank you for letting us in, you won't regret it," and it's like, the way you just said that makes me already regret this a little bit. Just a little bit. Surprises? Probably the Blue Fairy saying that the author and the sorcerer are not the same person. That was kind of cool. I do still hope we see the sorcerer. I know we've seen the apprentice, but I want to know why he didn't pop out of the fucking book, or the fucking hat. The Chernabog was awesome, because it's like, it made me immediately think of freaking Fantasia. I was like, holy shit. And it makes me wonder if he's not really, like, he wasn't really necessarily an evil creature, because he said he feeds on evil. And it's like, maybe that's a magical way of getting rid of evil, in a way, because he didn't necessarily look evil. But granted, I'm weird that way. And I never pictured the Chernabog in, like, Fantasia as an evil thing. You know, intimidatingness. But I liked the way they did it. There were certain bits that were a little bit cheesy with the CGI, but all in all, not too bad considering, it's just a show. It's not like it has a movie budget. I feel like it was a little too easy for Rumple to get back into the town. I feel like that was too easy. I'm curious to see how he brings back Maleficent, because like I said, bitch is dead. Like, how are you gonna do that? Are you a necromancer all of a sudden? I'm curious. I want to see the sorcerer. I don't know if I want them to find the author this season or not. I do want Robin to come back and be with Regina. I do eventually want Rumple and Belle together, because I feel like I said, I feel like that was, I think for her to be strong enough to be his equal in a relationship, because I think that's what ultimately they needed, she had to kick him out or find a way to stand up to him and say, no, I understand now, The fact that she was so easily duped, though, that Oxford professor, was actually Rumple, like, seriously? That was kind of weak. The episode itself played out kind of slow. I feel like they were trying to make up for that with the Chernabog scenes. It kind of had too much of a Monster of the Week flavor to it, though. Didn't see a lot of Henry, really. I mean, the kid barely talked. Thankfully, we did not see a lot of... I'm kind of curious about the Prince Charming and Mary Margaret, and Snow White confronting Cruella and Ursula, like, if you tell anyone about what happened, I'm gonna rip your heart out myself. I'm just like, I can't buy that coming from Mary Margaret, because she plays such a saccharine, sweet character. Like, I have trouble... As Mary Margaret, I have trouble seeing her as a badass. As early Snow White, before they got married and got all romancy-poo and, I'll always find you! I'll always find you! Before all that shit happened, she was actually kind of a badass and could, fucking, just tear it up. But after that, I feel like she just really, lamed out a bit. I have trouble buying it. I have a lot of trouble buying it. Like, if Emma fucking said that, I'd be like, oh, shit is on! But with Mary Margaret saying it, to me, it was kind of laughable. I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. I want to see how they bring Maleficent back, because of Disney villains, Maleficent is my all-time favorite. Like, I loved the Angelina Jolie live-action Maleficent movie. I love the original Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty. So, I can't wait to see what they do to bring her back. As far as the actresses for Ursula, Cruella, and Maleficent, I'm kind of meh. I'm not terribly excited. I'm not terribly disappointed. I feel like they need to... slow their roll on Cruella's eyebrow makeup. It's like, dude, okay, you just painted her like a clown. Because there was one close-up, I was like, damn! You guys went way outside the lines on that shit. But yeah, I mean, they're kind of meh. I'm not terribly impressed. And keeping in mind, I love this show. This is, like, my favorite show in the entire world. I love this show more than I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Agent Carter. And that's saying something, because I love me some Agent Carter. But this is, yeah, I can't wait to see what they're going to do. So, that's my first review. Hopefully, as long as I have Sundays off, I should be able to catch the show, do a review right away. because obviously it's going to be after Rev and I do a lot of our regular filming. If you like this, as always, like, subscribe, share, comment. We love hearing from you guys. We try to answer back as soon as possible. If there's any other shows out there that you would like to see us review, either individually or together, let us know. We prefer to do a lot of things together so we can, you know, get each other's opinions and build off of that. But there's certain shows, like Rev never really got into Once Upon a Time, and there wasn't a lot of people doing reviews on it, so I wanted to do that. I wanted to tackle that. Whereas there's certain things that, you know, he rents a lot more movies than I do, so he does, you know, Redbox reviews. He does reviews on other stuff, you know. So, let us know. As always, also like us on Facebook. That link will also be below. And I'll see you guys next week for your next Once Upon a Time review. Or Once Upon a Review, I guess. Yeah. Later, geeks.